creeps, and welcome once again to the Mask Fan Attic, where we look for cool and interesting old masks. Tonight, let's go back to the year 1999 when the big silly Stephen Sommers mummy movie came out, the one that was called The Mummy. But well, it wasn't really very scary. You might think a movie called The Mummy would be a horror movie, but the 1999 one was more of this big comedy, fantasy, romantic adventure thing. Every character in it was the comic relief, basically, and there wasn't much horror going on. But it was still a, you know, one of those summer hits, one of those blockbuster movies that everybody goes and sees, even though not everybody loves them. Obviously, I'm not a huge fan of it, but it did have some nice work and some things that I liked and some things that I appreciated, in spite of the presence of a very annoying lead actress. And like any big studio monster movie, there are going to be some tie-in products, some merchandising. That's why Ruby's Costumes came out with the foam-filled bust, not really a mask. I guess this should be the bust fan attic. That doesn't sound good, no. This foam-filled bust of the Mummy, also called Im-ho-Tep. Now, Im-ho-Tep, that's I-M-H-O-T-E-P, was the same character name used by Boris Karloff in the 1932 original Mummy. So that's one difference right there. In 1932, Im-ho-Tep the Mummy was played by Boris Karloff. In 1999, he was played by special effects. Arnold Vosloo. Now, Arnold Vosloo is actually a fine actor, and he's good at being scary, because I've seen him be kind of scary in other things. But the Mummy movie of '99 wasn't really about scaring people all that much, so he didn't have a chance to be as scary as he might have in a scarier version of the tale. But this bust is, as you can probably see, foam-filled. And when this came out, again, that would have been the 1999-2000 season. When this came out, you could find these everywhere. Places like Spencer Gifts sold them. And they didn't really sell, and a lot of them ended up being marked down. And I think the reason for that is nobody knew what it was supposed to be. It just looks like a big guy with a big, ugly, stretched out monster mouth, and it's kind of cool, but it doesn't really look like anybody's idea of a mummy, which is traditionally something wrapped in bandages, or at least something that looks very, well, you know, shriveled and withered and dried up and decayed and deteriorated and decomposed and things like that. And he doesn't really capture that. I may be the only person who likes this piece, but I always thought it was cool. It's dramatic and scary, and it was very affordable at the time. You could get these for like 40 or 50 bucks. Not bad, considering how big it is and that it's foam-filled and all that. Very inexpensive. Now, I've seen them go for more than that. I've never seen them go for more than 100, but then they could have, because I don't pay that much attention, you see. But the Arnold Vosloo mummy bust from Ruby's, I think, was a cool thing. It's painted, not great. The paint is a little streaky and a little airbrushy, but I do like the work they did on the eyes and the mouth area, and the depth to the mouth and the depth to the teeth. Pretty impressive, pretty impressive. Again, it doesn't really look like a mummy, though. It just looks like a big angry monster head, which makes it great for haunted house uses. I never saw it used in a haunted attraction, but I would guess it would have been marvelous to put on, you know, pop-up armatures and all the pneumatic-powered props that they sometimes use, where things jump out at you. See? He'd be great jumping out at you, wouldn't he? He'd be cool on one of those, but I don't know. As I say, it doesn't seem to have been a popular piece. Now, at the same time, they also had a mask version of it available. The mask version looked pretty much like this, except it didn't have any of this stuff. It was just cut about like that, and was just a thin, kind of floppy, not that impressive, simplified latex mask. It was all right for a, you know, low-budget mask, but this looks a million times better to me than the mask version. But well, that's just me. It cost more too, so it should look better. That's about all I have to say about that. So before I spend any more time making you think I'm crazy for liking a kind of a silly mass-produced piece, I'll just sign off now and go on up onto the roof for a while and see if it's raining.